Nigeria is a place where people don't seem to have value for human life, because there are so many places in the world where that incident cannot happen.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Elachilaka, the Ohema Abona of the Asante Kingdom and the whole of Ghana. I saw this video of a thief that was caught in somewhere in Tema, right? And I think he was given a punishment. I'm sure they touched him small, but because from the swollen eyes, you could tell he had received small blessings from punches, So they beat him up small, and then they gave him a punishment to cut grasses and clean up a big gutter, long gutter. Oh God, I love this country. I too love this country, I swear. It's the way they tied the rope on his waist. Like, it reminds me of the monkey I saw in at the Ebri Gardens when I went. That monkey that I took a picture with. That was how they tied the rope around its waist. That's how they tied the rope. They tied a long rope on his waist and gave him shovel to clear the gutter. Now, they even bought food for him along the line. Guys, let's watch this video and kindly let me know what they were saying in the comment section. Translate for me why. I don't really understand what they were saying, but I could tell from what I heard and what I saw that was what happened. Let's watch the video, guys.
Watch check if any papa go here juma wa and a pine kwan 12 from boy 11:40 yeah oyi haina I come to 9 I come to 25 the maran about no maran about I had 1000 nenim ho papa go here juma obo anka chira so onye juma obeba kro no and I don't know how somebody no hono I know so befa yes ejuma no obenya e anka chira ekoso basu be say wi biom ana we be say wi biom was so wi biom so mbokro no biom.
Guys, what was it saying in the video? Oh God, the most hilarious part was the rope on his waist part. Like, you see, when humanity is being valued somewhere, you can tell, right? And that is one thing I really, really respect about Ghanaians. They value human lives. I cannot say the same for the Anagos, the Nigerians. Unfortunately, the way the lives are being wasted in that country on a daily basis is worrisome. And it didn't start today. You see the way they treated this guy, a thief. They caught him stealing, and then they beat him up small, gave him the punishment. Nobody buyed him, right? There was one video I also reacted to when I was in Benin Republic about a Nigerian boy they caught stealing. They gave him punishment, and then they gave him clothes to change in. He showered. They took him to a chop bar, bought food for him, and told him never to steal again. So it's not like this is the first time such a thing is happening in Ghana. But Nigeria, just raise for salam, just shout ole ole or thief thief. Just you see Bob, they don't go even ask question, nothing. You could just say innocent person don't go. But this guy, they caught him stealing. They gave him a punishment. I don't know if maybe after this they would take him to the police station or something, or they would just let him go. But the humanity, the fact that they didn't see the need to end his life just because he was caught stealing, it says a lot. They even bought food for him. They bought food for him. Let's watch where he was eating.
Nsiranka buwa phobia wa buwa no atebia na ama no because enyo bia na ebe na kuma ma ye BBC wache kronfo wache kronfo ama na ejuma o wasa tebia na ama no ya me shira o wasa mo ni su aka osusu ne kuro wadi amu o we se ka nsiranka buwa phobia we wi na wasa ne wa no storm aka o o ya toa ne ejuma so wa yi ga temu se fe ori ato aso obe ya tu de wenya aha tema community 9 tema community 9 tazan neni wo cocoa board neni ho
continue his work. Now this brings me to the story of the Aluu Four that happened in Nigeria in 2012. Exactly on the 5th of October 2012, because I remember vividly. I was still with stitches on my throat when I was weeping because of the trauma that particular incident caused me. For those of you who were not familiar with the story, there's this video from 2 years ago when the Aluu Four, after 10 years, some reactions I came across on YouTube, and I would just share them here for the sake of the people who were not familiar with what happened. These were university boys, University of Port Harcourt to be precisely, young, cute, talented teenagers that were sent to school by their parents. Innocent boys that were sent to school. They met their death in a very horrific way that left the whole country traumatized. In fact, even who no get mind cry for those children mothering. The Aluu community in Rivers State, Nigeria, ended the lives of these promising young men barbarically, in a way that nobody could get over it easily. They were just, the fact that they were innocent was the most heartbreaking part of it all. I was so traumatized. I almost lost my life because I just got out of surgery. I had my surgery on the 1st of October 2012, right? And this thing happened on the 5th of October 2012. As a matter of fact, I just got off the hospital that day. I was discharged that day. I got home and I watched the barbaric video, raw footage of how they were stripped naked, how they were patrolled around the whole community and put tire, poured fuel, set them ablaze. After beating them, they bled so much. Still, they did this like these boys were not humans. Meanwhile, they were innocent. You help person, you better borrow person money, make you go collect your money, you raise alarm, say na thieves. Now so the community gather. They don't even ask questions. They don't even listen to anybody where say, oh, now so they buy these innocent boys. 10 years later, I think, was it 10 years or 5 years later? The judge, or one of the judges in Rivers State or Port Harcourt, had to sentence a police officer and I think some police officers that were present that enabled that jungle justice. They were sentenced to death. It was supposed to be, small, closure for the families or people that knew those boys, but it wasn't enough because the idiot that raised the false alarm walked freely. Let's watch the video of the Aluu Four 10 years later and we'll continue.
October 5, 2022 makes it 10 years when 4 young Nigerian undergraduates were murdered in cold blood in what is now known as the Aluu Four. The young men were second-year students of the University of Port Harcourt before they were lynched by a mob that accused them of theft. Correspondent Rachel Ramson reports.
Some memories are sweet, while some others are solemn. The memories of the 5th of October 2012 still brings negative emotions.
The other boy, Tekena, was still alive. He was breathing when I got there, but all burnt. He was gasping for air. I was like, I called him, Tekena, but I'd seen my son already dead. I couldn't cry, but my husband started crying. So I just went to the center where everybody was. They were like watching a match, I just raised my hands and said, Father, you said in every situation you give glory to you. I give you glory.
This heartbreaking scene captured how the astounding future of 4 friends, Ugonna Obuzo, Lloyd Toko, Chiadika Biringa, and Tekena Alkana was brought to a tragic end.
I think one other aspect is even those who are probably playing the third role. The third role, I mean, say politicians or godfathers that are always intervening when their boys, so-called, or their thugs commit criminal offenses, and then they turn to probably persuade the arresting authorities to get them released without justification, or even up to the courts, in some cases up to the courts, and then the kind of decisions of courts that come out leave citizens so dissatisfied that they would rather not approach the court.
No one was more traumatized in this catastrophe than the parents. Learning to let go of the memories is daunting for the families. Both Toku Mike and Messiah Obuzo declined our request for an interview, saying talking about it would reopen the memories. But in a previous interview with Silverbird News 24, the families had called for immortalization of their children who were murdered in cold blood. Unfortunately, this is yet to happen. But despite this failure, the University of Port Harcourt describes the boys as legends that will not leave the minds of the university soon.
In fact, those guys are martyrs. They died, and we can still describe them as a living legend. They are wonderful people. They are very good. Even when you look at their parents, look at their background, they are not criminals. They are very wonderful boys, good-looking boys, law-abiding students of the university when this incident actually occurred.
10 years after the incident, the people of Aluu are still haunted by the ugly past.
First off, let me start by saying I am the best there is, there ever was, and there ever will be. It's not new that they feel me. Brace yourself with the lyric of King Kong. The last time I held a mic, I cost the rip.
This is where it happened 10 years ago, where 4 undergraduates of Uniport were gruesomely murdered, while a crowd made up of Aluu residents and students watched helplessly. From Port Harcourt.
As a mother, this thing brings back the pain all over again. Imagine sending your kids to school and only for you to be called that they've been bite. And to think that they were innocent was the most painful part. Look at the talents wasted. See them freestyling? They had passion for music and all that. See how cute. It's not like they were even from poor homes. They were hungry kids. Ajibo, we call Ajibo. I don't know what it's called in Ghana. Soft kids, rich kids, rich kids from rich homes. What do they call them in Ghana? Those are what those boys were. They were wasted like that by humans who were supposed to actually have some kind of empathy. I mean, if you catch someone, somebody shouted thief, thief, you didn't see them with any weapon, nothing. Just beat them, carry tire, pia, carry fuel, pia, bam. Your fellow human being picking, you just buy them like that. What happened to handing them over to the police? What happened to giving them punishment the way the Ghanaians do? At least, okay, touch am small, then give am punishment, make e serve, give am food, make e chop, make e baff, give am clothes, make e wear. Warn am make e no do am again, or carry am go police station. But no. Why do you think the first thing that comes to a Nigerian man, an average Nigerian person's mind, is to end the person, catch the person, just spy am? Life no mean anything. This was 2012, guys. So it's not today. Benue killings, this, that, it no mean anything to them again because it didn't start today. Life no matter for that country. When some of us are saying these things, they say, oh, we are doing it for... No, I love Ghana. I love the way they do their things. I love their sense of reasoning. I love how they value human lives. I don't see my kids being safe in Nigeria. I don't see their future being bright in Nigeria. The best thing I ever did was take them out of that country. I look at the people hoping that Nigeria will be better, everything. No, I'm sorry to burst your bubbles. Nigeria is not going to get better. You know why? Because so many bloodshed, man. So many. It didn't start today. The shedding of innocent blood, especially. Mother Earth can never forgive that country. So I don't see that country getting any better. I'm sorry. I don't waste my hope on what I want. When I see, I love to face reality. I can't be wasting my hope. Oh, Nigeria will get better. Nah, it's not getting no better, man. I don't have to waste my hope or wait around, lose my kids, or even myself. Your life is not guaranteed in that country. You can wake up and come back and wake up, come back. You give God glory because, man, no be everybody will come out, return in one piece. There was this 10 years this thing from BBC. Let's also watch it about the Aluu Four. They actually have a movie, Dark October. It's on Netflix, guys, even on Hulu. You can search the movie, watch it. It's the true life story of what happened in that Aluu community, guys.
She was crying. I asked her what was the problem. She said they have killed Ugonna. Nigeria is a place where people don't seem to have value for human life because there are so many places in the world where that incident cannot happen.
Exactly 10 years ago, 4 students of the University of Port Harcourt were killed by an angry mob. Now, they had been wrongly accused of robbery, thousands watched, and many filmed as they were brutally murdered. This is the story of the Aluu Four. 5 a.m., October 5th, 2012, 4 university students run into the local community patrol. At that time of the morning, suspicions arose, especially as there had been robberies in that area. Accused of being petty thieves, they are taken to a mock trial where they are found guilty. Immediately, their punishment is handed out. They are stripped, beaten, and taken to a pit where what happens next is too horrific for words. But by the early morning, they were dead. I am Nduka Ojinmo, a BBC journalist from Port Harcourt. I know Aluu community very well. Now, I remember when this happened. I was in Port Harcourt at the time, so I still remember it. It was the first mob killing in Nigeria to go viral. Now, when this happened, there was widespread outrage and debates about Nigeria's judicial system.
People were actually there, laughing, cheering, taking pictures of other people who were being slaughtered.
But despite all that shock and anger, mob killings continue to happen in Nigeria. People like Ankyo Briggs feel that the government isn't doing enough to stop them.
seems like if you don't raise your voice, the right things will not be done. And yes, there was definitely a feeling in me that the system, the government, the judiciary, even the federal government ought to be aware of what has happened in a so-called place of education.
So, we have talked about the government. What about the people? What is it that drives them to such extremes?
The failure of governance or failure of the criminal justice is one very potent reason for this, because people are no longer interested in what happens there as a result of the failure of the criminal justice system.
This is Dr. Destiny, a lecturer at the University of Port Harcourt who specializes in criminology. He explains why it seems there's a loss of value for human life in Nigeria.
We have had cases of war, conflict, cultism, political instability, thuggery, and all of those, that at the end results in the loss of lives. And so violence largely has become a culture in this part of the world.
But behind these attacks are real people with stories of their own. Ugonna and Lloyd were aspiring rappers. Tekena was Lloyd's cousin, and Chiadika formed the fourth member of their youthful crew.
They were soft children. You know that kind of children, like privileged, yes. You know when you say Ajabota now, you know that this person Ajabota. Ugonna especially, he had that very baby look with his afro and all of that. There's no reason why anybody should die like that. There's no reason. There's no reason at all.
3 men were sentenced for life in 2017, including 1 police officer, for their roles in the killing of the students. Now, for Ugonna's father, that is enough proof that the system works.
If the judiciary were not to be trusted, I'm sure they would not even have concluded that case till date. But I had the strong belief that the judiciary could be trusted.
Nigeria's constitution guarantees everyone the right to life, dignity, and fair hearing, making mob killings a punishable crime. The killing of the Aluu Four was 10 years ago. Nigerians have since moved on. But for Ugonna's father, time is a keen reminder of the loss of a beloved son.
He would have been 28 by now, yes. And certainly he would have been out of school, maybe finished his youth service. Possibly he may not even have been in Nigeria now. And then being the first son and only son, I may have also wanted him to get married early so that I have that assurance that he has started building up himself.
It's really sad, man. I can imagine what the parents must have been going through. Parents of those boys must have been going through, because that kind of pain never goes away. Like, no matter how you try, you can never heal from such trauma. It's an everlasting pain, And to think that boy was the first and only son, Charlie, the pain eats deep. As a mom, I'm scared, like, you don't even know what can happen. Anything can happen at any time. Like, your child can just still stay out of trouble, and then problem will still go meet them. It's the world we live in. We just have to pray for God's divine protection while we do our own. But Charlie, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. I beg. I don't even know which I want to talk again. I don't know. I was just trying to compare how they handle stuffs like that in Nigeria and Ghana, and this shit just brought back the trauma I thought I've healed from for a long time. Nigeria just shouts "Ole." Nobody cares. You are dead. You could provoke person, or person go just they envy you. You don't need to do much. Make you just shout thief. False alarm. If you know how many people false alarm don't sing to early graves, for that country. Then the person just shout thief, thief, thief. They don't rush catch you. They don't, hey, tire. Where tire they from? Come outside when he said, nobody they know. Tire, pia, matches, lighter, pia, fuel, woo. There is fuel scarcity, fuel they cost, but when it comes to jungle justice, where fuel they from come out for that country, you know go explain. It's a mystery. It's a big mystery that you don't know where they see fuel from. But on a normal day, they know fuel no day easily accessible for that country, and it's expensive. You know, but when it comes to looking for who to burn alive, fuel they emerge for that country. So it's not a new thing that human lives are not being valued in that country. It's not a new thing. You don't say when it starts. In the 60s, back in the 80s, it's been there. It's left for us to just keep our hands clean and pray for God's divine protection in our going out and our coming in. Because Charlie, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you for watching. I beg. I don't know waiting to talk again. I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you all. May their souls continue to how will I say rest in peace? Are they really resting? How can anybody rest in such gruesome way of dying, being murdered? Why? How would anybody rest in peace in such manner? Oh well.